Hello and welcome to the LRM podcast, sponsored by Adrian Flux Insurance. I'm Martin Dominy,
And I'm Steve Miller.
and you join us for an hour of chat about Land Rovers and everything to do with owning them. So, as promised, we're going to get into answering some of your questions. It's been far too long since we've done some listeners' questions. The inbox is piling up faster than I can read them. So, we're going to knock through a few today. But first of all, little update. Has anything happened in your week that you've got to tell us about?
Me, spent about £1,000 on Land Rover parts.
Just like any other weekend.
Yeah. Do you know when you spend like what I consider £1,000 is quite a quantity of money?
It is, absolutely.
And I've been saving up, and while I appear not to have been doing much on the project, I've been saving up for this, and it doesn't buy you as much. What it does to me is it makes me appreciate more when someone's finished a Land Rover and the actual time and investment in it.
Yeah.
It's that the monetary investment as well as the time. Got to hold your hat,
It's easy to lose track, and it's the little bits that add up as well, isn't it?
It really is. Because I ordered the other day what I would consider not a lot: screws, washers, nuts, the small intricacies. I don't know, over £500. Wow. But it is what it is. You can't do it without it. So
No.
yeah.
No.
So really, that's my little update since last week.
Yes, next week we're back on it, aren't we? 2 days spannering away, so that'll be good. We'll see how far we can get with the bulkhead and all that jazz.
Yes. I don't want you boys to be devoid of parts.
We won't be twiddling our thumbs, I think that's for sure.
But when we sat here, we had a parcel delivered, didn't we?
Yeah, yes, indeed. I have changed the steering box on my Series 3.
Oh, yeah. I think you said you were going to do that last time.
Yes, so I did it last Wednesday. So when the last episode of the podcast came out, a more involved job than I remember, not helped by having a V8 in the engine bay rather than a 4-cylinder, because everything's that little bit more cramped. My word, it has transformed the way it drives, though.
Oh, good.
It is so much nicer.
It's amazing, isn't it? Those little things, bushes, and there's any play in anything.
Well, series steering boxes are notorious for wear, and you can only adjust them to take the slack out of them so much before they start feeling horrible and graunchy, and they can get tight at the ends, like near the lock.
Okay.
Mine was really a lot worse than I actually thought, though. When we got it off, turning where the steering wheel would go, sounds like a washing machine full of gravel, and not in a good way. So replaced that. Did the ball joints on the longitudinal steering link as well. They weren't worn, but they'd gone tight just with old age. They were sort of a bit stiff. So, it's so much nicer to drive now. That was good. What else have I got to tell you?
No update on the Freelander purchasing for your sister?
No, I've not
sure you had seen some horrors.
Not had a chance to view any others yet. I've been preoccupied with buying a shed. So I've been...
Well, like your last car?
Yeah. Very good, very good. No.
When you say a shed, are we talking like, what, 8x12 timber?
No, so I've been keeping an eye out for, since we moved into our house, really, for a decent sized sort of shed, workshop, garage for the garden, because the one that's there looks okay in videos, but in reality, the floor is absolutely knackered and it's very, very rickety.
It's full of character, though.
It's full of
It smells like it's full of character, your garage, doesn't it?
It's okay for chucking lawnmowers and stuff like that in, but not much good for a lot else. So I had time will tell, but on Saturday I should be going to pick up a all steel construction 20-foot by 30-foot shed with an electric roller door.
Oh, nice.
Insulated, skylights, the lot, for a bargain price. And funnily enough, it was for sale at the site, the same postcode as the Land Rover dealer I used to work at.
Well, if that doesn't tell you something, then yeah.
Fate.
Yeah.
So
sounds like a new podcast studio to me.
That will be incorporated into the corner, all being well, so we can finally start recording these podcasts with video, because we've been meaning to do it since we started, and the stars just haven't aligned because we're always sat somewhere normally quite boring.
So my dining table, like as in now.
That's where we are. We're Steve Miller Towers today recording. But yeah, so that's exciting. And that's about it, really. Should we get stuck into some listeners' questions?
Go for it. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to this because it's been a while.
It definitely has. In no particular order, I hasten to add as well, we're not that organised. Ed Wellstead gets in touch. He says, I'm a lifelong Land Rover fan and magazine follower. I had a hiatus of not having a Land Rover for the last few years. I've owned Series, Classic Range Rover, Discovery 1 and 2, and Freelander 1s. Now I'm in a position to replace my daily driver with another Land Rover, he says. My budget is £4,000. I'm handy with the spanners, and my dad's a mechanic, so I can avoid garage charges. For me, Discovery Td5 was brilliant. I sold I sold my lovely ES to a mate who rolled it into a garden. Apparently, you'll know who you are because you listen to this podcast. TD5s are now hard to find in standard form. My second choice is a Freelander 2. My 1 was brilliant, but I understand the 2 is also lovely. But the thing that's most caught his attention of late is the Discovery 3. He says he knows the horror stories about crankshafts and things like that, but they look great. They would work really well for the family with 7 seats. I want to go camping and do some green laning. What would you do with £4,000?
Yeah, I mean, £4,000 would buy Discovery 4 as well, incidentally.
Maybe an early high mileage one.
Yeah, an early high mileage. If you need 7 seats, so you're limited, aren't you, at that budget level? But really, if it's my £4,000, I'd look at Freelander 2.
If you are as handy on spanners as you reckon, and your dad's a mechanic who's kind of familiar with modernish Land Rovers, I'd go Disco 3 because they are a better, more spacious.
Yeah, they are great.
Don't get me wrong, I love my Freelander 2, but I love it because I never have to do anything to it.
Yeah, like we've said, haven't we? Like Freelander 2s are a more car-like offering, aren't they? Rather than Discovery 3. Yeah, there's a lot of them around at that level. That's price point.
Oh yeah, you've got a reasonable choice for £4,000, and
You have to watch for corrosion on those now.
they're really getting quite bad for rust.
Yes.
But
they have. I mean, think of it, they're an old car.
They are. Yeah, 20 plus years old. Some of the early ones, 22 years old now.
Yeah, so that's not. You got to forgive it for that. They're not modern cars anymore, but you do have to go with your eyes open on those big time, especially at £4,000.
Definitely, but there will be some nice, attainable examples out there. And like you say, if you're fairly mechanically competent,
and you'll need to be,
and you will need to be, yes,
let's be honest,
you don't mind the upkeep because they are heavy on brakes and suspension and things like that. If it was going to be your only car and you were happy to put that time and attention into it, I'd go Disco 3 personally, £4,000.
But you could still run that on like buying other secondhand parts as well, because there's enough out there being broken.
Yeah,
but you don't have to buy new all the time. So,
but then again, the price of new stuff, especially high wear items like suspension arms, like Britpart.
Oh no, actually you buy new with those, but
the XS range from Britpart is so affordable now, and they are OEM quality. They're not nearly as bad to keep on the road as they used to be. And you mentioned crankshaft, not really a problem on the 2.7. It's the oil pump that fails on them. So make sure it's got the latest oil pump on it, and if in doubt, if you're doing the belts on it anyway, pop an oil pump on while you're in there. I would say Discovery 3.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards that. I love Discovery 3. I think they're the finest of them all, really. They're still Land Rover enough.
They're chunky and tough, aren't they?
Big switches and knobs and dials.
The interior does feel like, seriously, they're rugged, aren't they? They're very hard wearing.
Well, the last one we went in actually was Nick Dimbleby's Discovery 3, wasn't it? Just round the block back to the car park from LRM HQ, and I forgot how nice they were.
Yeah.
And they are a bargain.
Definitely. And there's loads of them around as well. But yeah, check, like you said, actually, rust at the back of the sills, especially, and the chassis where the drive shaft comes through the socket in the chassis. They seem quite bad for rotting out there as well. So yeah, get underneath it, give it a good poke. I would do that. I'd go Disco 3.
Yeah.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah, far away.
Let's go to Ashley Briggs. Ashley Briggs says, "Hi, I'm loving the podcasts I discovered about 6 months ago, and I'm now finally up to date. I'm on my third Freelander. It's a 64 plate SE manual that I use for my gardening business. Very late Freelander 2, a fine vintage. It does everything I want and more, and I can't see a viable alternative out there. Anyway, on to more pressing matters. 40 years ago, I received a brand new boxed Fairey overdrive that has now remained in the unopened box ever since. My other vehicle was a 1980 2.25 diesel station wagon, so Series 3 station wagon, restored by the previous owner on a galvanised chassis and bulkhead, and it has an overdrive fitted. Should I keep my brand new in box overdrive just in case, or sell it and put the money into an emergency fund for any major work that I may need? I have copies of every logbook, and it shows it was originally petrol, converted to diesel by the first owner, with the factory engine using the 2A petrol block, which was apparently common practice. Just had diesel ancillaries fitted, like fuel pump, things like that. I've attached photos of both my vehicles and a bit of Camel Trophy trivia for you. Some of the selections were held here in East Yorkshire at Risby. Very low key, but I helped out and still have an official Marshall vest and numerous stickers from the 88-89. Keep up the good work. Kind regards. So, do we think he should keep his, by the sounds of it, rare as hen's teeth, new in box Fairey overdrive, or should he sell it and put the money away to potentially put some money into the series in the future?
Without predicting the future, I would imagine that it's at its peak value.
Yeah,
I can't imagine it being worth more in 10 or 20 years from now. Possibly less. Fewer people would possibly want one in 10 or 20 years time.
That's true. I don't really know.
This is a bit like Antiques.
It's a bit like Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah, Antiques Roadshow. You know, like Antiques.
Cue the theme tune.
They have their it reminds me of going back to school the next day.
Sunday night.
I hate that noise. I literally I can't listen to Antiques Roadshow theme tune.
Maybe you should take it on.
I could do the Heartbeat theme tune. That doesn't remind me of going back to school.
You love Heartbeat.
I love Heartbeat, but the Antiques Roadshow is a depressing noise for Sunday evening. Let me tell you,
it was like watching Top Gear at 8 o'clock on Sunday, knowing you then had to go to bed and then go to school in the morning.
Yes,
terrible.
Yeah, you see, that never happened. I went to school. Top Gear was still on a Thursday night.
I do remember
half an hour.
Really?
Yeah, it used to be a half an hour episode. The 1 hour Top Gear episode was long after I started work.
Wow, I wonder what year that would have been, because I don't remember. I'm sure I remember it not being on a Sunday, but I don't remember it being half an hour.
Yeah, on a Thursday it was like 7 till 7:30, I think, on Thursday evening. BBC Two.
Crikey.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was like we digressed.
We really digressed.
I mean, we really did. But the antiques thing is a thing where antiques have like a fashion, don't they, of its time, and then all of a sudden things that were worth a fortune 20 years ago are now worthless and fit for the fire.
Yeah.
I think, not saying that's the case for the overdrive, I think now is probably peak time to sell it, actually. I'm
actually inclined to agree. I think there's still enough interest in that stuff, and there are people out there that absolutely love as new in box, like genuine new old stock is like the holy grail.
It is, yeah. I mean, what could that be worth?
Well, this is the question, because used ones, untested ones, still sell for like £1,000 or between £500 and £1,000. I think that's got to be. Where do you place it though? Because the Roma drive is still out there, still being sold, and
they're not new old stock, is there?
No, but it is better than a Fairey.
Okay.
So if you wanted an overdrive to use, you would just buy a Roma drive, because you can still.
How much are they?
About 2.5.
Okay.
You can still get parts for them.
So I had £2,000 in my head.
For the Fairey?
Yeah. Because it's original old stock. It's not a replacement. And if you want period correct.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
It's like because otherwise Roma drive I'd consider that as a modification.
Yeah, a Roma drive
of its time
is
an improvement.
Yeah, a Roma drive is a modern upgrade.
Yeah.
A Fairey overdrive is like if you had a perfect original Series 2 and you wanted to drive it a bit more.
And there are a lot of people like that around, but will have that. But I think the next generation it's a bit like the pre-war car thing, isn't it? Pre-war cars, the values have dipped. Motorcycles from the 1960s, values have dipped because the old boys don't want them anymore.
Dare I say it, Series 1s are kind of softening.
Series 1s are softening because they're more of an ornament. Some people disagree with me here, but they are more of an ornament than they are a usable classic like Series 3 is.
Yeah.
And some people will use them and they'll go trialing them and everything else, but you know where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
I think the overdrive is the same thing. I think now's peak time to sell it.
There you go then, Ashley. Sell. Sell
it, get the money and repurpose it. Because at the moment, it's just a part in a box, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right with you. I do agree
Yeah.
with you, though. I don't think that's, unless it was someone who was super into that genre, like collecting new old stock rare or like upgrade parts. I don't think it's going to be worth more than it is now. I
No,
think you're
there'll be
probably
fewer people, and it's a supply and demand thing.
yeah.
When there's no demand, it doesn't matter about the supply, the value isn't there.
Talking of parts, our friend Ada Fisher messaged me on Facebook the other day.
What was he being nice?
He was being nice.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's always nice to me. Apart from the odd time he calls me names.
Yeah. Probably deserved.
An endearing thing to do.
He found a Defender flip down bull bar. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, yes, yeah.
It's not far from where he lives, so I might buy it, and then he might pick it up for me and bring it to Newbury.
What, and put it on your one's head?
Yeah.
Well, then we could ride round.
Yeah, we could ride around on it. Probably not.
Yeah, no.
Put like bales of hay on it and stuff.
Yeah, we should just put bales on it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because riding around on it would be silly.
That would contravene health and safety regulations.
I'd like to stick my high vis on and get my clipboard out.
Very bad idea. So yeah, but I'd not seen one for years, let alone for sale, and then that popped up on Marketplace, only 50 quid. I thought, I might have that. But
it's worth it for nostalgia.
Well, I think so.
That's worth it just for the photo.
I agree. Yeah, we'll see. I haven't messaged him back about it yet, but yeah, top work, Ashley. I would agree, and also must take a moment to congratulate you on having a fine daily driver, 64 plate Freelander 2, absolutely fine specimen of the breed.
Definitely, and manual as well.
Indeed. So, you ready for another one? We're hammering through.
I am. I'm keen.
George Gilby. He says, "Hello. I just wanted to thank you for the podcast. I discovered it while searching for Land Rover content on Spotify and quickly binge listened to every episode. My passion for Land Rovers started in my teenage years in Africa with a Series 2, which eventually led me to study automotive design at Coventry University. Although I drifted more towards typical student cars at the time, I now work in the creative department of JLR.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Your podcast reignited that passion. I went from casually dreaming about owning a Discovery 2 to buying a Series 2 hybrid sight unseen. It's a 1964 Series 2 on a shortened early 90s chassis with 90 suspension and axles, running a 12J engine but a series gearbox. It's lived an off-road life, which suits me perfectly. Although the engine didn't last long, it said it used all its oil after going 5 miles one morning. I've since started a rebuild with a 300 TDI and a short R380 after picking up a Discovery 1 rolling chassis. I'm really enjoying the process and falling back in love with it all. Thanks again for the inspiration. I'll keep listening while I tinker away in the evenings. All the best, George Gilby. So not so much your question, but a nice bit of feedback.
Yeah, nice. It's nice to hear. And we obviously take feedback seriously, don't we? Because we want it to be what it is.
This is really what's important to me is we're just like anyone else out there doing Land Rover stuff, but we sit down once a week and chat about it for an hour and then people listen.
Yes, absolutely. And there's nothing more to it than that.
No, there really isn't.
It's I suppose in some respects we're in a fortunate position because the LRM as a magazine, that's our job.
Yeah.
And all the events, it sort of puts us on that. We have it's already sort of there in the waiting.
It's easier to reach people.
Yeah, it's not like just me and you. Say I was a builder and you were a painter or decorator or whatever. We talk about Land Rovers, possibly wouldn't be the same, but we have absolutely, these questions that come in, right?
Yeah.
We have the same thought processes ourselves.
All the time.
I always, I daily drive my Td590, but my wife daily drives a 3 Series BMW estate car with 150,000+ miles on the clock. When that gives up, what's next? It has to be a Land Rover of sorts.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Nothing beats an adventure in a Land Rover, and our sponsor, specialist insurance broker Adrian Flux, agrees. To support your journey into the great unknown, they offer Land Rover insurance on all types of models. With cover in the UK and Europe for off-roading and green laning, they're well equipped to handle even the most rugged landy escapades. Call them directly on 0344 728 0417 for a quote, or search Adrian Flux Land Rover Insurance for more information.
Yeah, it's always what's next, what's happening, what can I do?
What's the project? What parts are coming in? What should I do with my Penman trailer next? We're the same.
Oh, I read something interesting on Facebook earlier. Someone was asking about changing a tub on a 110. I had like a utility 110 and they were on about changing the tub. Someone said, have you thought about putting a Penman tub on it? And then that would leave a bit of a gap between the cab and the back of the Penman, and you could put like a crane on it or something. That'd be really cool.
Interesting projects.
Yeah, I'd like to have a measure up actually if I bring the 109 up or something. Because when I bought that 109, the tub was absolutely hanging. It had loads of filler in it. And the old fella I bought it from said he was going to do a tray back on it. So make the single cab like a chassis cab type thing and then build his own tub. And I always fancied doing it, but a good used tub came up for the right money when I was re-chassising it. So I just went and bought that and painted it. But it's always been in the back of my mind to do something a little bit different.
I get that.
So a Penman tub with a little gap for like a toolbox or a picker crane or something would be awesome.
The Penman tubs actually come up now and again.
Do they?
Yes, they do. And I'll tell you why. It's because some people take the tubs off and then build an overland trailer on top of the chassis rather than I've just built a pod on top of the tub. So they get rid of them. They get rid of the tub and then they have a bit surplus requirements. Unless, because they're stainless steel,
That's it.
they don't rust. So no one, it's not like the old Sankey trailers that they corrode. So they're in perfect condition half the time.
It was super tough.
Really
Stainless.
tough. Properly tough.
I really quite fancy a go at that.
Yeah.
That might be something for the future.
I know where there is somebody that might be breaking them. Because there's that many of them. Some of them have had a bit of a, bits missing or robbed from to repair others, whatever.
Right. Food for thought, that. Need to get the shed up first, though. Exciting news. I have a delivery coming tomorrow as well.
Okay.
Our good friend, Jeremy Coburn,
Oh, yeah.
has...
Coburn Fasteners.
Of Coburn Fasteners. He's got a lovely Ken's Blue 90, which he's done lots and lots of nice galvanised bits on with Chris from ORE. And he's making it into a sort of lifestyle-y beach truck type thing. Looks gorgeous. He's done a lovely job on it. But when he bought that, it was a truck cab and it had white 8-spokes on it.
Oh.
And I said to him, if you ever get rid of those wheels, I want to be at the top of that list. And sure enough,
You're at the top of the list.
4 white 8-spokes are turning up at my house tomorrow on a pallet. So they're going
Nice.
on the Series 3 because the wheels they let the rest of it down, really.
Yeah, they're a little bit too on the rusty side now.
I want to try and get them fitted before billing because that 109 is dialed in now.
Oh, that's what you're taking, Series 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go around the Lakeside course with it because I've not actually
on
done
Friday.
No, that would be Riverside.
Oh, I get them mixed up.
Because I don't think we've filmed there and stuff, but I haven't actually been around the course at the weekend, so I quite fancy a go at that.
Oh, can I come?
Yeah.
Oh, cheers.
Too right. Yeah. That'll be good. But no, the white 8-spokes will give it a little lift, I think. The current ones are very rusty, and they've gone a sort of, I don't know what colour they are, like coffee colour. They're really sort of like...
It's just the whites mixed in with all the rusters. Yeah. They don't look nice. So your Land Rover will look like it has its teeth done in turkey.
It will have turkey teeth. Yeah.
It's Land Rover versus turkey teeth.
I learned
on
the subject of turkey teeth. I learned yesterday. My wife told me you can buy. This is not something I have ever thought of doing. I just was amazed that
you
it exists.
Cosmetic surgery.
No, you can buy eye drops that you put in your eye, and it turns the white of your eye whiter.
Oh no!
Did you know that?
Well, I'm sure the opticians will love that.
Well, I didn't know it existed. It seems pointless to me. It's white anyway.
But I don't think you should ever mess with your eyes.
Just pouring unknown liquid.
Great fluid in your eye or something like that.
I can confirm that is
great cleaner.
Oh, anyway, I've had oil in my eyes plenty of times, and it's so weird because it looks like you're looking through like the bottom of a frosted glass. It's like really blurry.
Wear goggles. Follow the health and safety code that we follow in the Land Rover in the technical section.
I hasten to add this was years ago, but yes, also wear goggles and make sure you've got like eye wash or something if you're doing a lot of stuff with fuel and oil.
Yeah,
definitely. Don't mess with your eyes because you've only got 2 and they've got to last you.
Putting those things in, putting your eye drops in to make your eyes whiter is almost like spraying fake mud on your Land Rover. You know, like that can you use it.
Yeah.
Spray on
Did
mud.
did that actually exist, or was that like a stunt?
I've never actually seen a can, but Ed Evans told us this, didn't he?
Well,
In the early days of recording these podcasts, he said there was a can of stuff.
I remember I don't know if it was an advert or the news piece in, I think it would have been LRO at the time, for spray on mud. So if you've got like a 4x4 and you only drive it in the city and you want to fit in with whoever else it doesn't drive in the city, you get this spray on mud.
Yeah, because Simon at Powerful UK told us that as well on the podcast live at LRM lot.
Yeah.
Didn't he? Said about it again. I was like, hey, it was a thing then.
Madness. Can you believe it? Billing's almost here as well.
I can believe it because it's like when this goes out, it'll be next week.
Will it? Yeah. Yes, it will.
No,
well,
10 days.
It's the end of June. It's at the end of June, but no, it's going to be a great weekend.
So that's a good point, actually. We're doing show and tell, aren't we? At lunchtime.
We're podcasting and show and tell.
Yeah. So podcast first.
Yep.
So if
Half 10, I think it is.
yeah, roughly half
Around then.
10 or half 10. I'm not sure. We've been it'll be in their show guide when you arrive.
Yeah.
Timings.
And we'll probably still be late, so just hang around.
Yeah.
For beer
So if
tent.
anyone fancies carrying a segment of the sofa from the LRM tent to the beer tent,
That'd
by
be
all
great.
means, yeah,
Chip in.
and then come and watch us or see us, ask us questions live there. That's always handy to
Definitely.
have participation. And then if you've got your vehicle and you want to show it off on show and tell, where you can do it live there. That's what got me.
We can.
12:30, I think.
1 till 2.
1 till 2, is it?
1 till 2, yeah. So if you've got a Land Rover or, to be honest, any kind of 4x4 or 6x6 or anything cool that you want to show off, come and find us at the LRM stand, which faces the Challenge Southwest off-road arena bit. Say, I'd like to do show and tell, please, and we'll tell you where you need to be and at what time, and then we'll come and have a chat with you, and it's a good old laugh, really, isn't it?
Because we will talk about other 4x4s.
Yeah.
Not just Land Rovers, and that's the thing. We're not completely like an expert in the differences between one model of Hilux and another, but
Yeah.
we know a bit about 4x4.
One of the coolest things I remember wasn't last year, it was the year before, that little Haflinger.
Yeah, brilliant.
It was like a bathtub with four-wheel drive.
Yeah, really cool thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, come and see us and we'll get you up on show and tell and have a chat with you. It's good fun.
It is just chilled out.
Yeah, definitely. Right, next question.
Yes, we're ready.
This question's from our friend Dan at Demand Engineering.
Oh, I always worry when I hear his name and there's a question.
No, it's a good question.
It's a good question.
It is a good question. He says, "Hi, Stephen Martin. Question, an adventure question for you. Some people are totally into bright lights, fine dining, song and dance, and all that it brings. For myself, the best nights of my life are to be had under the stars, around a fire pit in the middle of nowhere, with good food and maybe some fine alcohol, and of course, excellent company." And if you're listening to the podcast, I probably made it there in a Land Rover of some sort. So, the question, what was the best night of your life? Where were you and why was it so good? Ta-ta for now. Dan.
The best night of your life? What, around Land Rovers?
I mean, yeah, probably.
It's an interesting one. I have a memory of many, many years ago, right? And it was at the Billing Aquadrome Land Rover show.
Okay.
Okay. And I was there in my Series 3 long wheelbase. My mate was there in his Series 3. I forget what my other mate had. There was about 3 or 4 of us all parked around, and there's a picture, and I wish my mate Pete could find it, because it was one of those Polaroid printout pictures.
Right.
And there's us, all in our youth, really, just all as best friends, various different girlfriends at the time, all in this one picture, that some randomer just took this picture of us. And that was awesome. That was when, pre-internet probably, like the internet wasn't even a thing. You saved all your money up to go to the show.
Yeah.
I'd say it's the best night of my life, but it's a real memorable, the summer scene. Yeah, it sounds like a Brian Adams song, but the summer that seemed to last forever. And it's all like that as Brian Adams summer. But yeah, they were special times by them.
Definitely. I think
You were free of any responsibility as well.
100%.
Yeah. All I was worried about was putting fuel in my Land Rover, it felt.
Yeah.
That's my only worry in life. Do I have enough to buy fuel and beer?
What a simple time. Happy days. Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Trying to think. There was a couple of memorable nights, whether they were for, well, I suppose they use that phrase, don't they? Secondary, what's it called? Secondary fun or something, where it's actually miserable at the time, but then you look back on it and you're like, oh yeah.
It's called rose tinted glasses, isn't it? You always think it was better than it actually was.
Well, no, not even that. At the time, it was the weekend I'm referring to was Total Off Road magazine used to do a sort of event called their Weekender, Total Off Road Big Weekender or something like that, and it was at Curtin Off Road site in Curtin Lindsey. It's an enormous off road site, and obviously back then I was
Everyone off roaded, I suppose, and it
Oh,
was
massively into
white
it.
8 spokes are plenty.
Yeah, and me and a bunch of mates went up there for the weekend, and where they had the campsite was like the only real flat bit of ground was right on top of this hill. And I know what you're thinking, Lincolnshire's not very hilly, but let me tell you,
There are in the Lincolnshire Wolds.
there was a big hill there. And anyway, we were camping on top of it, and the weather didn't look great. We'd had a few beers. Things were fine. We'd been off-roading all day. We got there, set up camp, gone off-roading, got back to camp. And we were like, oh, the weather doesn't look very good. There's a lot of dark clouds over there and whatever anyway. So we were fairly merry when we went to bed. Anyway, woke up about 2 in the morning, and the wind and the rain was driving that hard. It had completely flattened our tent. I was sharing a tent with a mate. We were honestly couldn't even shout into each other over the sound of the weather, and everything was just smushed into the ground. We couldn't see, and we thought, well, if we get out, what are we going to do? The tent's going to blow away. So literally had to stay in there all night so the tent wouldn't blow away. Didn't get a wink of sleep, completely soaking wet. And you think, that's miserable, and it was at the time. But then months down the line, we were like, do you remember that time we almost got
of course. Yeah, blowing off the hill in Lincolnshire.
And then, of course, because you're young, you get up and just go off-roading all the next day and forget about it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, both of those stories, really, mine and yours, it's about that shared interest with mates, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we had campfires, don't get me wrong. I mean, back then, I mean, there seemed to be no rules of building aquadrome, and the fires could be as large as you wanted. No one cared.
It was
too many people at the time for it to be a problem. But
another good billing one actually was I don't think it was the best. I wouldn't say it was the best night, but best sort of weekend was I was volunteered to marshal the off-road course with Beds, Hearts and Cams Land Rover Club, which I was in at the time, and cracking weekend. The weather was gorgeous. I just got my Td5 19. I was like in love with that thing. It was so cool, like brilliant. Super winch husky on the front. I loved that. I loved that Land Rover.
You need a Defender in your life.
I've got one. Well, sort of.
No, but like a semi-modern one. That's
maybe.
more of a classic car, isn't it?
Well, it is, yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Anyway, so a couple of the guys we were camping with were Americans from the local air base. They're well into their Land Rovers. We used to see them quite a lot. We go green lane and things like that. And one of them, I remember him. I won't say his name in case he doesn't want to be made, but he had a huge orange 110, massive lift on it, like 35-inch. I don't know if they were Cymex or really aggressive tires. It was huge, and it had like a stencil of a deer on the side, and the exhaust it was wicked.
Yeah.
But he was well into his barbecuing, and he got up at like 4 in the morning and started smoking all this brisket and chickens and all this meat on a Saturday. And I remember we'd been out on the off-road course all day on Saturday. It was baking hot, covered in mud, just had the best day. And then we got back to our camp, and he was like, right, couple of minutes it'll be dinner, and we got this huge plate of barbecue, like proper authentic barbecue done on these massive like oil drum smokers. Oh my, it was absolutely fantastic. So we ate that, and then we went and basically partied all night, and then did the same thing on the Sunday.
Yeah, the days of having no responsibility and just living for the moment. And yet when we had our day, didn't we, at Newbury the other day with with people, and it reminded me, there was a few younger people there, wasn't there?
Yeah,
the guests that we had, and with followings on Instagram and stuff, and it just reminds me like we were that age, or I was that age once, and
Land Rovers are It's just they're
It's
just
community,
the key to fun and having a good
isn't
time.
it?
Really, I think.
They are.
So
Buy more Land Rovers, have more fun.
pretty much, I don't think you can go wrong with that. So Dan, sorry, we haven't really answered your question, but we have reminisced about our times at shows.
But they
when
were
we-
the best times, but we can have those times again.
Well, that's what Fest's all about, isn't it?
It is that.
It's
exactly
going to be
that, yeah.
bringing that atmosphere to a brand new event. So if you haven't already booked your tickets, go on to landroverhub.co.uk, our brand new website, and book your tickets to the big Land Rover Fest, 11th and 12th in July, or 10th to 13th if you're camping, if you want to stay.
Yeah, you can come in on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
It's a brilliant value event, and the musical acts we've got booked are awesome, and there's on-site, there's off-roading. There's going to be so much trade booked in as well. I'm absolutely buzzing. So don't miss out on that.
This is the show of the year, in my opinion.
I stick my neck on the line and I say,
I have someone that could.
you'd be silly not to go.
Finding the right parts for your Land Rover or Range Rover shouldn't be an off-road challenge. At bmh4x4.com, we've built a smarter way to get you back on track. Our new website is now live, the simple, fast and reliable way to find the parts and accessories you need. Supplying quality parts for Defender 1983 to 2016, Discovery 1, 2, 3 and 4, Range Rover Sport 2005 to 2013 with Range Rover P38A and L322 coming soon. All parts are backed by expert knowledge, quick delivery and a 2-year quality guarantee. Visit bmh4x4.com, built by enthusiasts for enthusiasts.
Are you ready? Oh, hang on a sec. Oh no, this isn't who I thought it was. Ted Garton. He says, I love the mag and the podcast, and I've been an avid Land Rover fan since I was 10 years old. However, I've only had one Land Rover, an early Discovery too, many, many years ago, before life got in the way and I had to sell it. I'm now looking to get back into Land Rover ownership with a Defender. While I have been looking, there always seems to be at least one late Td5 that's had an engine seizure. And they have piqued my interest as they're obviously a cheap way in and would provide an excuse for me and my family to get the spanners out. Can you guys shed some light as to why there are so many about and any pitfalls to this plan other than the usual Defender buying guide? Thanks.
Well, it's interesting. So I've not really noticed there's loads of TD5s for sale with blown engines.
No, I completely agree. They're quite hard wearing. So I don't know if that's just a local, maybe it's a bit of a spate of them in his local area or something. But the TD5 generally is a solid choice.
Yeah.
As far as if you wanted to buy one and fix it, I think that would be a great thing to do because there's so many rotten TD5 Discoveries out there that would potentially donate you an engine or some parts.
What would a crate engine be for TD5? Can you get them?
I believe you can. I don't know how much they cost, but I'm sure you can buy them new. And also there's going to be reconditioned options available soon as well, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I've not noticed that. I've
No.
seen TD5s with quite a lot of rotten sort of chassis and bulkheads and rear cross members and such like, but the running gear's always been like good.
TDCIs, I think you see far more fail.
Perhaps
It could maybe.
mistaken, possibly. There are a lot of TDCIs which are later.
They did have issues, but yeah, I don't know really. Why are there so many about? Well, I don't really know because I wasn't aware that there were. Any pitfalls to this plan other than the usual Defender buying stuff? As we explained in the last Defender guide we did, it's no longer just the chassis and bulkhead you need to look for corrosion in. It's now the tub, the B pillars, everywhere.
Same
Really.
with TDCIs, eh?
Yeah,
Tubs are getting really rotten on those.
they just go to dust really. But thankfully, YRM places like that will do you absolutely every piece you need to make it brand new again.
Talking about YRM, I was on their website yesterday because I made a purchase and I noticed they've got this section on there. It says I think it's called diagrams.
Yes.
Really handy. Really, really handy because you can just select what Land Rover you have.
Yeah.
which model you have, which gearbox it has. Because in my case, I wanted something that to do with the seatbox lids, and you have to select LT77. That's the gearbox I got, and then it just the diagrams. It was dead easy.
Happy days.
Yeah, really, really good, like a CAD drawing.
Yeah, they've really they've really upped the game with the website recently, YRM. It's really
Yes,
good.
I didn't notice it was on. I didn't know it was on there. I went on there, and I learned a lot, and it was made it buying parts really easy. But yeah, like you say, for repair panels on tubs and things, yeah, not a problem.
As far as everything else goes, there's not much mechanically you couldn't sort out, especially if by the sounds of it, you're fairly handy with spanners. There's nothing else that's not really, everything else is available if you need it.
Yeah,
Whether that's brand new, reconditioned, or, one of our auto jumbles where there's thousands of
plentiful.
used spares as far as the eye could see. You're spoiled for choice, really. I think that's a solid idea. If you can find one for the right money that needs engine work, go for it. If the rest of it's been looked after nicely, then crack on, I say.
Yeah, there are plenty of them. In fact, you might be interested in this. Yesterday, I heard of 3 Td5s being broken for spares.
Why are those been
Discovery.
broken?
Discoveries.
Oh, Discovery.
Discovery 2s, yeah.
One of them's not Ian's, is it?
No,
Oh, that's all right then.
no.
I've got my eye on that.
But they're not far. They're not far away from where in his area, the other side of Milton Keynes.
Oh, right.
So if you're interested,
Not really, but thanks anyway.
yeah.
Right, next question. Adam Burney. He says, I would just like to say thank you for the podcast. It's helped me get through lots of Easter revision this week. You can tell how out of date we are.
Easter.
That's kind of dated us, Adam. Sorry. He says, I read the mag monthly and have recently discovered your podcast. It's amazing. I wouldn't go that far, but thank you very much for your kind words. He says, I've been well and truly bitten by the Land Rover bug. Started about 4 years ago when I found 4 of your magazines at an old train station and was fascinated.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm now 13 and still love the old wagons to bits, and even convinced my parents to buy a Land Rover, although begrudgingly it's a modern Defender, not an old one. I wouldn't be begrudging that. They're a fine machine.
I wish my parents owned a new Defender back in the day.
My dad always wanted an Epsom Green Discovery ES. That was like his dream car for years. And I kept saying to him, you should get one. You should get one. Oh, too much money, blah, blah, blah. And he never did. And I just thought if I won the lottery, I'd have bought him one.
It's a bit of a regret. Yeah. Well, not a regret, but a missed opportunity.
I don't think he's that bothered now. But back then it was like
The things
like a brand new, like 300 TDI in Epsom Green, the ES with all the leather and twin sunroofs and that. That was an aspirational car.
yeah, big time.
Anyway,
My mate's dad had that exact car thing.
really?
Yeah, it was Epsom Green. Trinson. Yeah, we went somewhere in it. Quite a long way away. Can't remember. Back in the day.
Mm.
That was a height of luxury, that was.
Honestly, yeah, they were, weren't they? Full leather as well in the ES.
Yeah, very nice car.
Sorry, I'm getting off track again. I aspire to own a Land Rover in the future, although I do feel I'll have to wait and save up for a while. If you could do a shout out on the podcast, it would be amazing. And the nice thing in amongst the revision, which you probably finished months ago, and to help me on my path to Land Rover ownership. Also, when the time comes, would you recommend a Disco 2 or a TD5 110 double cab? Many thanks, Adam from North Yorkshire.
That's a really easy answer for me.
Go on.
When you're that age,
Yeah,
go and buy a double cab.
yeah,
Be cool.
Yeah.
Put a little
Oh.
bar on it.
100%.
Put spotlights on the roof.
Also, probably cheaper to insure than a Disco 2.
Yeah, and just cooler. You'd be really cool at that age.
You would be the man.
Yeah. Double cab all day long. Make it into a Spectre edition.
No.
Yeah?
No.
When you were young,
Maybe.
you got to think like,
Be original, though. Put your own twist on it.
oh yeah, but like, put bigger wheels on it. There you go.
Oh, put bigger wheels.
Yeah, but not like necessarily Spectre, but go
Yeah.
that look.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't do a
yeah.
full replica, but make it look like Jonathan East's one who come to the...
Exactly that. Basically,
That is perfection. If I was to have a double
Jonathan
cab,
East,
I know we slate them because they're kind of useless, but they do look the absolute nuts, don't they?
no, they do. You just can't put anything in the.
Anyway,
But
Yes.
as you're young,
it
why-
doesn't matter.
why you don't have responsibility of kids or
Anything. I daily drove my 90 T5. Well, it was the same TD5 I took. What was I? Oh, the when I marshalled at Billing, it was a station wagon, and then because I kept taking it off road and I kept smashing the roof into trees, I put a truck cab on it, and that was not a problem for me for years because I just drove around and I had one passenger sometimes, and I just put stuff wherever. Doesn't matter, does it?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you like them?
There you go, Adam. And
What
sorry.
was that? Magazines like lurking around
A train
the train
station.
station.
Yeah,
That's
I assume it's in like the the undercover bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't like when you find trees in magazines in trees and bushes and stuff. That doesn't really happen now.
I don't know. It's all online, is it?
I never found magazines anywhere I shouldn't have found magazines because I never looked for them. Tony Booth has been in touch all the way from Washington in the USA.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Tony says, "Dear Martin and Steve, I love the podcast and the magazine. I need a bit of help. I live in Kelso, Washington in the USA, a great location near Mount St. Helens. If you guys ever want to visit the Great Northwest, you're always welcome in my home." Oh, thanks, Tony.
Nice.
I'd love to go to the States. I've never been.
So when's the next flight?
Yeah. Should we just knock this on there, Dean? Fly out.
Anyway, that's enough for this week's podcast.
Yeah.
Steer off.
Anyway, yeah. Follow us on whatever. Okay, bye. We're off to the States. My problem is I have Girling calipers on my, I believe it's on a Santana actually. I have downloaded the wrong email, but I'm having trouble finding the correct hoses for them. Any ideas would be greatly appreciated. So the rubber hose that goes from a caliper to the chassis. I would be shocked if they were any different to a standard Defender part, but if they are, I would take said hose to a hydraulics specialist and I would ask them to make you one up with the right ends on it.
Can I get braided ones made
Probably, yeah.
instead?
Yeah, as long as it's rated for automotive use, it will be one thread one end and either a banjo bolt or another thread the other. And actually, let me be very, very professional and quickly look up Tony's original email because that will tell us what vehicle he was telling us about. I believe that it is a Santana, yeah. So, and he sent a picture of his. It's a Santana PS10, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah, kind of Land Rover based, but
There's one of those parts up the road in a couple of villages away.
they're a weird one.
They are weird, yeah.
In this
You
country,
don't see them in this country.
you rarely see them. A girl I went to secondary school with, her family had one. It was a red one. It's pretty cool. But they're odd because they're leaf sprung. They're parabolic leaf springs and a 2.8 sort of 300 TDI based engine. Yeah, I would be shocked if they are vastly different to a Land Rover hydraulic flexi line. If you can deal with it being off the road a couple of days, I would remove the flexi that you need to replace, and I would go to someone who's got like a tap and die set and then match up the threads, and then you know what to buy, because there's thousands of options for aftermarket brake lines that you can buy off the shelf. Places like Girling and various others. I mean, we're spoiled for choice over here. You've got Hell and you've got Pioneer and all that stuff. They can make them to your specification. So,
oh, of course, you're over there. I was say, does Britpart not stock the Santana stuff? Didn't they buy a load of it?
Yeah, they would have done. But there's a lot of crossover, obviously, between the two. I mean, the steering box I fitted to my Series 3 is a Santana part.
Okay.
But they're the same. Yeah, might be worth doing that. Or obviously, because you're in the States, I would give someone like Rovers North or Lucky 8 a shout. They might be able to help you out and tell you what thread you need and get the part for you.
Yeah, plenty of options.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but fingers crossed. It looks a lovely, clean vehicle. I'm just looking at the picture of it now. It's you don't see a lot of Santanas around, but I can thoroughly appreciate that. Good stuff. I think we'll probably wrap it up because we've got another stack of listeners' questions, but I think we don't want to spoil ourselves and go too mad all at once, do we?
No, that's a good idea actually.
We need to gear up. You need to go and clear your shed out because, like I say, we're back at it next week.
I'm quite tidy in there.
I don't know if I believe.
I wouldn't want you to go in there and inspect it.
You wouldn't want me to go out there now and actually look, but
no, I think it is quite tidy.
Oh.
I was quite impressed by how tidy it was when I went in there yesterday.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah,
we'll see on Thursday.
I've tidied it up since you were last here, where you left all the tools everywhere.
Oh yeah, well,
that's horrendous.
I need to go home and tidy.
I've never seen so many tools in a pile in my life.
The post steering box replacement tool pile is excessive.
Oh, that's a good point. Talking about tools. Do you have my 10mm socket?
Yes,
Thanks.
I keep meaning
You
to.
know the joke about you lose your 10mm? I have lost my 10mm, and you have it.
You lost it because it went home with me in my pocket.
Give him my 10mm back.
No, I do have it, and I will give it back to you. I just can't remember.
I think I've got more than one 10mm socket, but it's in that set.
Yeah, I looked as soon as I saw the stamping on it. I was like, "That is not mine. It must be."
Because it
Steve's."
said Halford.
You'd scratched Steve's 10mm into it.
No, I had not.
No, I will. I'll bring that back. And what else? I feel like I was going to say something tool related, and I've completely forgotten what it was. Why can't you buy Imperial ratchet spanners in this country?
I've never thought about that.
Yesterday, it became apparent that they would be very, very useful to me.
But why can't you?
Well, do you know what, Steve? As we're discussing it, I'm going to see if you actually can. And while we do that, we're also going to do a Machine Mart product of the month.
Oh, was that segued in, or have you just remembered that we might want to talk about some tools?
No, that was not segued in on purpose, but we do actually need to talk tools. So here we go. Even if you can't get Imperial ratchet spanners, which I maintain would be a fantastic idea because I had a lot of Imperial bolts to undo on my Series 3 7/16.
Get an electric ratchet instead.
I've got one. It's great, but sometimes you can't get that on. You need a spanner.
Oh yeah, you do.
Ratchet spanners are fantastically useful. They speed everything up so very much, and they're not massively expensive these days either, as Machine Mart prove, because you can get a 12-piece metric ratchet combination spanner set for a mere £47.98, and they have 5-star reviews on the website. I've got various different ratchet spanners that I've collected over the years, but not a full set of any of them. So
Are they open-ended one end and a ratchet the other?
they certainly are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Yeah, really, really nice looking set, actually. Yeah, head to machinemart.co.uk. The part number is, the manufacturer's number is 4303. And of course, you can get more expensive sets that are like flexible ends and things like that. But there's like a starter set, something that you can have in your toolbox to speed the process up, whether you're putting a Land Rover together or taking it apart. 12-piece ratchet set from
chips
8 to 19mm, so all your bases are covered really for metric sizes. I would jump on that. Yeah, all for the princely sum of 48 quid.
Thing is though, when you've got these tools, if you look after them, you'll have them for life.
100%. Yeah, definitely.
I've got some in my carriage, and I've had them for years.
Yeah, they don't wear out.
No.
I have worn ratchets out, but not individual spanners, or they've been broken through negligence. But these are they look decent. Nice things to have. A decent spanner is not to be underrated.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It instills confidence. But
I remember years ago with a spanner, right? So I was trying to take the cylinder head off a Mini, an A-series Mini engine.
oh yeah,
And my granddad, I lived with my granddad at the time, and he was very, very strong. And he said, "Come here, boy, out the way like this," because I couldn't undo the bolt. And he got hold of the spanner that was on there. I think I was using a spanner, yeah. And he went, "There you go," and he went to undo it. And as he was undoing it, he was sort of like almost like bragging that he was strong, but he just bent the spanner out. And it was like 50 feet, like 90-degree bend.
just made it.
And he just looked at me and said, "Get me some decent spanners," and just lobbed it across the feet.
And
You've got to have a decent spanner. You've got to have decent tools.
as if to eat my own words, you can in
You
fact,
found any?
if
I've
you're
seen
getting
them.
Laser do them under part number 6699, also available from machinemart.co.uk. A 9-piece Imperial ratchet spanner set, which has 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8, 7/16, which is what I needed yesterday. 1/2 inch, 9/16, 3/8, 11/16, 3/4. Yeah, fine grade ratchet spanners, and they come in a little carry case. So if you fancy them, and I'm talking nonsense by saying that you can't get Imperial ratchet spanners when you clearly can, they are part number 6699 on machinemart.co.uk.
Because you've never looked for them. You never needed them.
No, it wasn't until yesterday I thought, God, life would be so much easier if I had a ratchet spanner in Imperial size. And
Why don't you just go and buy them right now, and then you've got them for next time? I think it will be a next time.
oh, 100%, yeah.
It always is. That's what I've got learned to do. If you need to borrow a tool
Yeah,
from your neighbour, chances are you'll need it again. Just go and buy your own.
yeah.
and then you've got it for next time.
You will never ever regret buying tools, I always find.
Mm.
So there you go. There you go. I think we'll wrap this one up and we'll join you next week for, well, we'll have an update on your Defender.
Well, we would have spent 2 more days on it by then,
Yes,
which would be good.
it will be
I
good.
hope the sun shines again, because
Yeah.
it puts us in a good mood.
That was nice last time, wasn't it? But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, right. Follow us on social media. I'm Land Rover Martin.
I'm Steve Miller, Automotive.
Follow Land Rover Monthly on Facebook and Instagram. And check out our brand new website, landroverhub.co.uk. And yeah, thanks again for listening. If you've got a question that you'd like us to answer, probably months down the line from when you ask it, send us an email, editorial@lrm.co.uk, and we will add it to the ever-growing list.
Yeah, I think we'll better keep on top of some now because we're back into the
Yeah, we'll
flow
do,
of it.
we're,
Yes.
we're not running around the country doing various things. We're back at base for the moment.
You say that, but we actually are.
Yeah, that's good.
For the next 3 out of 4 weekends, we are. Yeah,
Well, we've plenty to talk about, won't we?
we have. Chelsea Walsh as well. we've got.
Chelsea Walsh is coming up, yeah, the weekend before billing. Always a good day out.
A Lucas Classic.
Keen, yeah, definitely. Sponsored by our friends at Britpop.
Good.
Very exciting. Right then, we will catch you on the next one.
Bye for now.